On the news tonight, Governor Soludo swears in 20 commissioners warns them that nothing below excellence will be accepted. Anambra State government begins outbreak response against circulating vaccine-derived polio virus. More persons pick forms ahead of 2023 general elections. Iran sanctions 24 United States citizens for terrorism and human rights violations. Before the news in detail, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. Good evening and welcome to the news. My name is Maureen Stone Enijoke. The Governor of Anambra State, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, has sworn in 20 new commissioners for the state government. The special advisor to the Governor on Security, retired Air Vice Marshal Ben Chobi, was also sworn in during the ceremony. The swearing-in was performed by the EXCO chambers of the Anambra State government. Government House correspondent Valentine Badoga has the details.
The commissioners who were sworn in are as follows: Mr. Ifatu Onejeme, Finance; Professor Ofonze Amauchazi, Lands; Mr. Ifani Okoma, Works and Infrastructure; Ms. Chiamaka Nake, Budget and Economic Planning; Dr. Afam Obidike, Health. Others include Mr. Patrick Aramba, Youth Development; Mrs. Ifeyinwa Obinabu, Women Affairs and Social Development; Dr. Obinna Ngonadi, Commerce and Industry; Mr. Julius Chukwuemeka, Power and Water Resources; Professor Ngozi Chumaude, Education; and Mr. Paul Musu, Information. Others are Dr. Foster Ihejafo, Agriculture; Mrs. Patricia Igwebike, Transport; Mr. Felix Odimegu, Environment; Honorable Paulinus Onyeka, Housing; Mr. Anthony Ifanya, Petroleum and Mineral Resources; Mr. Donatus Oyenji, Culture, Tourism and Entertainment; Honorable Tony Wabuwanne, Local Government, Chieftaincy and Community Affairs; Professor Mrs. Sylvia Ifemeje, Justice and Attorney General; and Mr. Chikode Anara, Homeland Affairs. Professor Soludo in his speech noted that they are selected to be part of the team that will implement the disruptive change for the progress of Anambra. He stressed that the opportunity is truly a call to work and serve in the Anambra.
That is the spirit of Anambra. And this team selected is the team to serve the 15 million or so in the Anambra at home, and most of them living outside of Anambra. And I want to welcome you to that team. We have no minute to waste. This is the 24/7 operation, the business of Anambra, and there is no minute to waste.
The Anambra State Solicitor General and Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Justice, Ngozi Iwuno, performed the swearing-in on behalf of the Governor. In a vote of thanks, the new Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Professor Mrs. Ifemeje, assured that they will place service to the state and public above personal interest and to perform their duties diligently and efficiently to achieve a greater Anambra State.
On behalf of my fellow commissioner and the special advisor who have been sworn in today, I want to thank the governor for counting us worthy to serve in his cabinet. Many were called, but few were chosen, and we happen to be among those few. We remain eternally grateful to God for this favor and for this opportunity, and we promise that we will not let the Almighty God.
The State Deputy Governor, Dr. Onyeka Chukwuibezim, the Secretary to the State Government, Professor Solochukwu Lobelu, the Chief of Staff to the Governor, Mr. Ernest Ezaji, Permanent Secretaries, among others, witnessed the swearing-in. Swearing to the oath of allegiance and oath of office by the commissioners climaxed the event. From the Government House, Oka, Valentine Badwa reporting for Abia News.
And it's congratulations to the newly sworn-in commissioners. The Governor of Anambra State, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, has conducted on-the-spot assessment of the Agwata local government headquarters, which was attacked by some hoodlums. The Governor went round and inspected the facilities and property burnt by the criminal elements. Government House correspondent Valentine Badoga has the details.
Governor Soludo described the act as mindless criminality, which he said cannot be condoned in Anambra State. He revealed that combined forces of security agents in the state before the attack stormed the criminal camp between Agulezechukwu and Oboji and smoked out the criminals, whom while fleeing the camp decided to destroy the local government, but commended the security agencies for their timely intervention.
The combined forces really got to the criminal camp between Agulezechukwu and Oboji. And that's a camp in which they continue to operate unhindered. And for the first time, they have been there for more than a year, more than even 2 years. But like we said, Anambra is determined to restore peace in our land.
Governor Soludo reaffirmed the total resolve of his administration to stamp out criminality in Anambra State and called on those involved to come out, as the government will help them become agents of positive change. He maintained that anyone who continued in that line of criminality will be treated as one. The governor regretted that 80% came from one southeast state, while the other 15% are from another southeast state, which shows that Ndibo are indeed destroying their own land by themselves. Governor Soludo emphasized that there will be no hiding place for criminals in Anambra, adding that Anambra will take back their land.
We've offered olive branch to all those who are in the bush to come out, surrender your guns, and will help to rehabilitate you to play critical roles in the development of Anambra, the southeast, and Nigeria. And but those who refuse to take that option and decide to continue with their criminal activities from the bush, various bushes around, we can only say one thing to them, and that is that they cannot cow the people. Anambra will take back their land.
From Ekulobia, Valentine Badwa reporting for Abia News.
Close to 2 million Anambra children under the age of 5 are targeted to receive the novel oral polio vaccine type 2 against the circulating vaccine-derived poliovirus type 2. The vaccine, which will be given in line with the Anambra State government's Outbreak Response Campaign 1, has commenced across the state and will end on Wednesday, April 13, 2022. Correspondent David Okpopasili reports.
1,984,703 children between age 0 and 59 months will receive the novel oral polio vaccine, while out of the number, 474,619 children will receive the routine immunization antigens, which include the inactivated polio vaccine IPV, according to schedule. Speaking during a press briefing in Awka, the Executive Secretary, Anambra State Healthcare Development Agency, Dr. Chome Zenyemolo, said that the Anambra State government is fully committed to ensuring that no eligible child is left out in the state. Dr. Zenyemolo underscored the importance of the vaccination exercise, stating that it is very important in sustaining the wild polio virus-free status of the country, as the circulating vaccine-derived polio virus type 2 can mutate and take on form that can cause paralysis just like wild polio virus if its circulation is not intercepted with vaccination between a period of 1 year or a year and 6 months. She encouraged mothers and caregivers to bring out their children who are within the age range, irrespective of their various status, to receive the vaccine in order to ensure that they are protected against the virus, and are assured that the World Health Organization and the Anambra State government will provide adequate security to guarantee the safety of health workers in the 7 security-prone local government areas, namely Ihiala, Nnewi South, Ayamelum, Anambra East and West, Ekwusigo and Oyi, so as to perform their duties seamlessly, while extra logistic support will be provided for those in Idemili North and Awka North respectively.
Because of the circulating CVDPV is low immunization rate. So the best way to prevent it where there is an outbreak is to vaccinate children. The polio vaccine protects children, whether it is the wild polio virus or vaccine-derived polio virus.
The routine immunization will be offered to designated health facilities, while the novel oral polio vaccine will be given at mobile posts such as mosques, schools, markets, motor parks, village squares, transit points, from house to house and wherever children may be found. From the headquarters of the Anambra State Primary Healthcare Development Agency in Awka, I am David Okwasi reporting for ABS News.
Ajali Magistrate Court 2 sitting in Orumba North Magisterial District has adjourned till April 28, 2022, a case of malicious damage of property against Vincent Okolo and 4 others by the Commissioner of Police, Anambra State. In a 2-count charge, Messrs. Vincent Okolo, Margaret Tudensi, Patience Akubo, Emeka Okolo and Nnamdi Okolo are being accused of conspiracy to commit misdemeanor. It is a charge of malicious damage committed on 29th of March at Obinikwa Village, Ajali, an offence punishable under Section 496A of the Criminal Code Cap 36 Volume 2, Revised Law of Anambra State of Nigeria 1991. Emmanuel Chiwata tells us more.
It also accused them of damaging a sit-out structure, shares and property belonging to one Justice Monica Okolo valued at 10 million naira, an offence punishable under Section 415 of the Criminal Code Cap 36 Volume 2, Revised Law of Anambra State of Nigeria 1991. The counsel to defendants, Barrister Imam Jimmy, applied to the court that the defendants be admitted to bail as some of them are aged and are noble men and women of their community. However, the defendants pleaded not guilty to all the charges leveled against them, which led to the adjournment for further plea and hearing. The magistrate, Stella Ezudeka, who granted the defendants bail of 100,000 naira each with provision of sureties, urged both parties to seek for peace and settle their disputes at the family level, adding that court is not the proper place to settle such family-related issues instead of creating enemies among themselves through court. The prosecutor, Inspector Edward Etta, also cautioned both parties to maintain peace at home until the case is determined. However, speaking to newsmen after the court sitting, the complainant, who is a sister to the defendants, narrated that the first son took his siblings to destroy her dwelling apartment, claiming to have right over everything which belongs to their late father. The complainant, Justice Okolo, alleged that she built the family house and her own under the late father's watch, adding that the first son had already seized 4 out of 8 rooms that she built. She said the bone of contention was that the first son is trying to own the family's compound to himself, his male children and wife, adding that as the first daughter to the family, she is entitled of inheritance from her father's house, according to Supreme Court decision on female inheritance. She maintained that if they want to negotiate for peace, that they have to pay all damages and write an undertaking not to destroy her properties again.
My senior brother took my siblings, who never knew the law, and destroyed my dwelling apartment, saying he's the first son who has the right to own everything that concerns our late father. That is why my house, dwelling apartment, was destroyed, even though I was the one that built these 8 rooms, which he sees 4 rooms out of. And I kept adding more rooms. The brain behind it is that he's fighting to own the whole compound to himself and his male children and wife. That is the bone of contention. I was inside my room, hearing the unusual noise. I came out, saw that himself, my 2 siblings, joined in destroying my house. I did not want to take laws into my hands as they did. I went and reported the matter to the police. When the police came, they caught them when they were doing the act, and they charged them to court. They want the peace. They should negotiate for peace. My friend to say, they have said they are not guilty, and until they are proved not guilty. What if they have said they are guilty? I would have suggested they should come and repair my house immediately. I won't live in an open place like this. My status, my age in this society, they should repair my house, pay for damages and costs, and write undertaking that they will never repeat such again. That's my own opinion.
From Ajale, Emmanuel Chibata, ABS News.
Staff of the Anambra Broadcasting Service have been charged to key into the programs and policy thrusts of the Governor Chukwuma Soludo administration with a view to communicating same to the grassroots and other stakeholders. The acting managing director of the establishment, Mr. Gebo Baleze, gave the charge during his maiden meeting with staff of the programs department in Oka. Emmanuel Chibata reports.
The acting managing director assured that the establishment will continue to work in line with the policies of Governor Chukwuma Soludo, noting that his trust on infrastructure, human capital development, and projecting local goods and culture will remain on front burner. He charged the staff to live up to responsibility in discharging their duties professionally, adding that producing good content targeted at the grassroots will not only attract more audience, but will generate more funds for the establishment. Mr. Obaleze, who used the opportunity to direct producers and presenters to join in canvassing for sponsorship of programs from the good people of the state, added that the establishment will not relent in marketing their products globally in returns.
Keep on doing stories. When I talk about stories or reports, it's not just the one we do on television and radio channels, but also small documentaries, making sure that you create small content that will, after somebody watching it or listening to it, they will be more informed about what is going on, and they will be more willing to part their money so that tax will be something we do as a natural process. As a broadcaster, you have a lot of respect. You may not know the large following you have until you begin to talk.
On her part, the director of programs, Mrs. Nneka Ekwunife, called on the staff to redouble efforts and work assiduously for the establishment, stressing on the need for the programs department to produce content that would increase the audience of ABS and by extension shore up our revenue base.
Because I call this meeting interaction, we thank you so much, thank you. Oh, if any message for call so that we will work without having any bitterness or rancor.
Others who spoke during the meeting, including the Vice President, Radio, Television, Theatre and Art Workers Union, Ratawu, in the Southeast Zone, Prince Emeka Kalu, Deputy Director of Programs, Mr. Roy Ekwunife, two presenters, Mr. Eze Onwuji and Onyekachuku Ugochukwu, among others, made contributions on ways to move the establishment forward. In Oka, Emmanuel Chibata, ABS News.
A former Chief Judge of Abia State, Professor Peter Umeh, has picked the expression of interest and nomination forms for President under the platform of the All Progressives Grand Alliance ABGA. We have the details.
Professor Umeh, who came to the party's national headquarters in Abuja, accompanied by people from all walks of life, including traditional rulers, called for financial autonomy for the judiciary and legislature. The presidential aspirant noted that his aspiration will fulfill the dreams of the party, as they had always said they will have a president in 2023 and he will bring in leadership, which had been lacking in the governance of Nigeria, as ABGA, as a political party, believes that it is only good leadership that can provide change.
If I have the opportunity to administer Nigeria, which I will do, firmly and fairly, will engender security for life and property, economic revitalization, and prosperity. As qualified as any aspirant to serve as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, be it from ABGA or any other political party.
He applauded the Electoral Act 2022, which, according to him, will promote credible elections, and called on Nigerians to support free and fair elections, which will give room for credible candidates winning the election irrespective of party affiliation.
And has added 24 United States officials and people to its blacklist of sanctioned individuals over charges of terrorism and violations of human rights of the Iranian people. The Iranian Foreign Ministry announced it has targeted 9 individuals for their involvement in terrorist acts. The Foreign Ministry also blacklisted 15 individuals for gross violations of human rights. This list mainly includes people who helped impose and expand punishing U.S. sanctions on Iran during the Trump and Obama administrations. And now sports. The Paris Saint-Germain are prepared to offer forward Kylian Mbappe €150 million signing-on fee to keep him at the club for another 2 seasons. The 23-year-old contract expires this summer, and he agreed a financial package with Real Madrid months ago. PSG intends to keep him and will offer €21 million net annual salary. Speaking after scoring twice in Ligue 1 win over Laurent, Mbappe told newsmen that he is yet to make a decision and will consider new elements. Remember, you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television, subscribe to our YouTube page at ABS Television, or follow us on Instagram at ABS Radio TV, and log on to our website www.absradiotv.com. And now a recap of the main points. Governor Soludo has sworn in 20 commissioners, warns them that nothing below excellence will be accepted. Anambra State government has begun outbreak response against circulating vaccine-derived polio virus. More persons have picked forms ahead of 2023 general elections. Iran has sanctioned 24 United States citizens for terrorism and human rights violations. Just before we go, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. And that was it on the news tonight. Thank you so very much for watching. My name is Maureen Stone in Joke. Good night and stay blessed.